So, hey everyone, I'm going to have some more streaming, the development of the garbage collector for Plasma. Now, I'll try and stay online for about an hour. We'll see how much time we end up with, but let's see. And I know we're starting a bit earlier tonight as well, so hopefully we get that full hour. So, I don't remember where I left off last week, actually, so I think what I was doing, I mean, I did some work, those are the wrong buffers. I did some work to add a parameter, to add the ability to set parameters. Actually, let's open up the test file. Tests. Now we put it as a valid test in the valid type, and we call it set parameter. That's right. So we've got two calls. So we've got two calls to set parameter. One sets it to 0, which should be invalid, and the other one sets it to one page, which should be valid, and neither of them work right now. So what we need to do is make this one work by actually passing that through to the garbage collector. And I believe this time I did turn my microphone on, but it'd be good to double check. So let's just take a quick look in OBS. Yes, my microphone is on. Right. So, the other thing I want to do, I ran make test just to convince myself that I left it in a okay state. So we've got a env. We should have here. Oh yeah, I just went past it. Set parameter. Set parameter function, and this should actually do something. So let's get it first to pull the values of the new parameter off the stack, and then to set the return value. So we have our stack. The top of stack value should be the new setting, which is an unsigned. Well, or is it? Will it always be unsigned? Well, it's unsigned for now because right now we're using it for memory, but we could use it for something else which might have other values. If we need other values, we might even add more functions later. And silly me, what I should have done this whole time was not actually implement any of this and just use an environment variable to change parameters. But that's okay. We might have wanted this eventually, but I should have gone with that simpler option. Anyway, the value is at the top of the stack, and from the stack, let's get, well, Plasma only supports one type of integer, so let's get that. Let's actually look at our stack union to see what the names are. Well, let's pick out a 32-bit value because we know all numbers are made 32-bit in this particular version of the runtime. That won't be true for all runtimes or all versions of this runtime, but it's true at the moment. So and the name is a little lower on the stack. It's currently It's a pointer. So we should try and match on the name and then do something. So let's set the heap size. Well, actually, we should make sure that we cover that in our test case as well. So I'll open the test case and do that. Oh, look at that. We should change that while we're there. And we should factor out some of this test as well. I'll just finish it first. Well, we should actually use signed values, since that's, again, what Plasma itself uses. So we should make sure that we're true to that. I mean, it kind of does. Yeah, until we actually add the different int types to the language, this will have to be good enough. Not really happy though. Actually, result is a bool, isn't it? And we discovered last time that important values are 0 and 1. If you haven't seen this before in C, it turns any non-zero value into 0 with the first bang, and then back into 1 with the second bang. So it will help you normalize a bool from an integer, and that's important in this case. Sorry, it'll help, yeah, that's what I said. Yeah. Okay, move the stack pointer back and save the result onto the top of the stack. Since we started with 2 parameters on the stack, and we have to finish with 1, so the stack parameter moves back by 1 position. And right now, every stack entry, regardless of its actual size, is 64 bits. Yeah, let's try that. Yes, and we need to implement that function. I will leave that buffer open because I'll come back to that. Right, one sec. I forgot one place to share the link to the live stream, so I'll just do that now quickly. Alright, I'm back. Just make sure that the video comes back before I begin. Yep, cool. So, okay, I was going to open the GC. Actually, I want to open the header file and put the declaration. Oh, we've already got a PCGC set max heap size. What we'll do, I'll take that double bang off since it's already returning a bool. If it breaks, then it breaks and we fix it. Since it's returning a bool, we should be able to hope for the best. Now, we need a value for the heap here, for a heap pointed to the main heap structure. Why don't I make it a global? Because, well, what if there's more than one, or what if you're using this as a library? I'd prefer to always provide one. Maybe it's the functional programmer in me. So that won't compile either, because heap isn't available right here. So what we need to do for our built-ins is to change the calling convention of them, of all the built-ins, so that they can have a pointer to the heap. They may also need a pointer to the current environment, which is a new pointer. Register I added to the virtual. Oh, that's in the other branch. I don't need to do that right now. But yeah, a pointer to the heap needs to be made available now. I'll close that for now because this is actually going to be slightly more tedious than I thought. Yeah, it will be more tedious than I thought. Git stash. So let's make that available. So in all the built-ins, should take a void pointer to the heap. Should actually be after. Unless a heap thing is made available elsewhere. Yeah, I should do heap star. Well, easy heap. Yeah, like that. So they all have to have the same convention, even if not all of them are using it, just because of how they're set up. So this is going to be slightly tedious. If this wasn't live, I'd pause the video and come back once I've done all the tedious bits, or edit it up later. Some live streamers are talented and can tell you a funny story while they do something tedious. That's not me. Really clearing my throat. I don't mean to be doing that, but I'd prefer to be able to speak clearly as well. So, having a great time health-wise. It's weird to talk about health, blah blah blah. But it's what happened in my day today. Today I went to the dentist, and I had the odd experience of taking him a piece of something that had fallen out of my mouth and saying, "Is this part of my tooth?" And so I went to the dentist and asked, "Is this part of my tooth?" And the answer was yes. So I was flossing one of my root canal teeth and flossed right through the wall of the tooth. Little pieces came off. So, fun times. I get to go back on Thursday. So, that should have failed to compile. Yeah, that really should have failed. The file has been changed since reading it. Did I not? What have I done wrong? Well, I'm going to save it anyway, and Git will tell me if I've messed things up. Well, Makel's going to... That's what I... more or less what I expected. No, I'm good. I'm good with that. That is what I expected. So... I like to go, even though I know the various places where I've got to change this code, I like to follow what the compiler says, because it feels less error prone. So we're in PZ main and, oh, unknown type. We can fix that. That's easy to fix. And I did kind of think that it would need this. When I don't need headers files to be, includes to be in any particular order, I like alphabetical order. So now we're in PZ run generic. Same change here. Obviously, some of these built-ins, like get time of day, will eventually be implemented for using a foreign function interface and will completely disappear from here. Yep. Alright, that shouldn't quite be that easy. Because it should require that as well. But I guess he's just not doing as many type checks as it ought to. Yeah. And I don't know whether header files should have includes or not yet. I haven't thought of a good policy for that, so let's just put that there. Oh, it's not called that. That's better. But they're obviously not called with that yet. Who's passing that parameter when they get called? So for that, we need to look at the bytecode instruction for doing foreign calls, which is pzt ccall. Call func callee, callee. Should only take that. I don't know why. Okay. It is not too many arguments. Why do you think that? C call fun. Oh, another declaration here. I should have seen that. Now that should be right. We can commit that. And if it, we'll actually test it later when we test the other changes and revise it if need be. So yes, we added a new include there. Go. Let's undo the things we had stashed. Why was that so big? And where's our stash? Dropped. That's better. Test. Yay! So yeah, so now we have a set parameter function built-in handler, and it has access to the heap, so it can call pzgc max heap size to set that parameter. Now we have a test case failure. Let's, in the valid directory, what if set parameter, it's probably just other changes that we made to the test. Succeeded to set heap size. Well, that can't be right. Yeah. Well, we need to finish that function, don't we? But at least we're speaking to the heap now. Now, I said we were going to refactor something here. Let's make a new function for testing parameters. It takes the name and a value. And that's all it should take. It uses the IO resource. We can copy one of these into it. Change that a little. Name, value. Name, value. And test parameter heap size 0. It uses a resource, so we add a bang. Yep, just the same. So 1 second. And we are, so now we need to make that change to the garbage collector. Runtime. Well, let's commit some more code. I like doing that. Well, that should. Oh, we need to update. Ah, we'll leave the expected output for later. Hit and. So we changed from generic to. Okay, that calls set parameter. We'll leave that for now. I'll commit that part. So. Tags is no longer run by default because that was a bug. So now I have to make tags every so often. Okay. So now we can do something sensible with the heap size. There should obviously be a minimum heap size, and we should know the page size of the computer we're running on. I believe we can get the page size by then. I don't know if these are in man pages. Word size. Yeah, I guess not. Man. Int, and then int types. Wow, my terminal flickers a lot for video capture. I'm just looking on the YouTube video, it flickers a heck of a lot when I'm typing. What if I move it there? Oh, let's see. Yeah, so I don't know what one does about man pages about those things. Anyway, I believe that there's a standard defined thing. EGC block. Well, depends how we want to lay out the heap. Right now we're just doing a dumb thing with well, just allocating memory and not collecting it. But we'll need to change that. Anyway, I believe that I can access that if I import, oh, I forget which header it is. Let's ask the internet. So, there's also another one that you can get which might even be a bit more portable, or at least was last time I checked. Maybe this is now. No, it's not page size like there's some CSS property. It's in, well, not standard int, is it? It's in int types or limits or something like that. Int types. How am I getting QNX references? Ha! This might be the perfect article. It's saying, don't do what you were about to do. I wonder if we can open that in an external viewer. Yeah, open with something I can actually read. There we go. Yeah. Well, I wasn't actually about to do this, but I had been doing this, where I'd been hard coding that 4096 value. Well, this is actually talking about kernel code, but is it you can't use the standard types when you need. Well, that's an interesting table. Yes, yes, da 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 da. I didn't see an index on this. No, it's just... And I hope it looks like it's just in kernel programming stuff. That might not be what I want. Page size. Yeah. Fairly sure that's the wrong header. No, that's the information for kernel developers. So don't do that. This is better. Huh, and this is taken from a man page. The man page is called in types.h, so I wonder if I do have it. Nope. Actually on some other system. That doesn't give enough detail. Well, what could go wrong? Really? It's either there or it's not, and I'll find it later. I'm sure I found it the other day. And I was looking for something else. So, first things first. If new size yes, so that works. And that means there is a symbol called page size underscore. I thought there was, but one of my central header files is including intertypes. I know that because I made that change the other day. Oh, what's happened? Oh, I blanked the screen instead of going to full screen mode. Yeah, I just hit the wrong keys. I was supposed to go to full screen mode to open up so you could read the web browser with me, and I hit the wrong button. Well done, me. Yeah. So what you missed was we made a define called pzgc max heap size, and we set it to, well, sorry, not max, min. Yeah, duh. That'll be also part of why it worked. Because I said the wrong thing. Anyway, we've made a define called pzgc min heap size and set that to the page size. That makes a lot more sense now. Well, yeah, so page size is not defined as far as we know. So I'm back to searching for where that is. I'm going to open the browser. So let's see if I can hit the right buttons this time. So now you should have the full screen. So we checked that first link. That told me nothing. What's in here? You know what? It might be in limits. Oh look, I've read this page before, so that might be exactly what I want. It might be that that's how I found it. Looking good. No. Let's just make sure. There we go. In limits.h, without an underscore at the end, yeah, this is kind of what I was thinking of. Now page size can change at runtime. Kind of. You can have different sized pages on the same system. I don't know what's normal or how portable this is. Where's the portability information? This is from will be omitted from limits to age on specific implementations where the corresponding value is equal to or greater than the stated minimum, but is indeterminate. Okay. So if we don't know statically, then you just have to guess, basically. And is there a path for limits? No. Okay. Undeclared. Let's try with sysconf. So okay, forward declare a new function called page size. We're going to use it here to be the minimum heap size. And no, that's still kind of dumb. Oh well. We'll static size t page size void. I forgot to give it a return type above. So we want to call sysconf sc page size, something like that. Return. What we actually want is to store it locally. A couple of ways we can do that. So anyway, let's give it a return type, and then which is size t. Put that on the line. Same here. Sysconf and sc page size are undeclared. Those are in unistd. Okay, why can't we find that either? I know I've used this before. What is it? Why are they putting an underscore there? Oh, right. There is an underscore right here on all of these. I didn't see that. Okay. So yay! And that is the result we want. So that's our test case working, but it's not like we're actually doing that much useful. So I hope I didn't just derp everything up and not see something. Like that. Did I not notice that? No, I had it right. Okay, so we can't know that statically. And what we chose was actually correct. Now, what we've got is a static function that does this, but I'd prefer not to call it two. Well, we only need to call it once. We can do that at initialization. So what we'll do instead is just make it a static value. And we'll have another value. Whether the static values have been initialized or not. Because then what we do here is if not statics initialized, then page, then, well, stat initialized is true, and page size is our code from down here. And that is what I've done in the past to configure page size in Mercury and so on when I wrote that code. So, and all we need to do is remove the call things from here. Good. The test passed. Well, the test doesn't pass yet because we need to change the expected outputs, but that's the idea. We could even have a get method if we wanted to get things at runtime and let Plasma programs inspect them. It does make sense in the long term to provide get and set things for the runtime system to allow them to be controlled dynamically. But for now, we have set. Okay. Now, oh. I'm going to change something about this function because I don't want it to set the maximum heap size right now. We're not going to have a heap that can resize, at least not for a while. So it's just going to be set heap size. We're going to remove the very idea that that could be the maximum size. So it's been about an hour since I started. I might wind up shortly. We will fix that expected output. We'll actually rename those. And now we were going to write, now we've got a test suite that should all pass. Now we're in that kind of a state, we'll fix up things. I like to merge these. So full screen. Strange. I've already committed bad expected output on this branch, which I really shouldn't have done. Yeah, here. Which I really shouldn't have pushed that up because, well, I'd normally like to rewrite history there. I won't, I'll be good. See, this one in particular. Well, I suppose that's okay. I'm not going to rewrite, is what I mean. Okay. So where's my editor? Oh, not what I wanted. Don't rebase against master, rebase against GC. So There we go. Nice, two nice tidied up commits on that branch now. And the next step is to write our next test, which I'd hoped for. Yeah, I think we can do that. So heap pointer plus size. Yeah, that's correct. So we're going to deliberately run things out of memory and make them crash, and that's the test we're going to work on fixing for next time, which is actually going to be really detailed and complex because we have to do lots of work to get that to work. But so let's write a new plasma program. We should think of a better name. So, to allocate loads and loads of memory, obviously we need a loop. Right now loops are thingo. Made by recursion. Nearly typed Mercury code there. Type my struct, my cell, yeah. And our cell is my cell, and it's got A, which is an int, and B, which is an int. And when we eventually add optimizations, this is going to all be optimized away, but by then we can delete this test because we'll have other ways to infer that this works. So if n is 0, I don't even remember if I've got equality, then do nothing. Else do something. Well, let's do that. It should work. Okay. Doesn't have to be anything in particular, but that'll do. Cell, my cell, and then allocate lots. N minus 1. In fact, later I plan to implement a compiler warning to say that something that doesn't return anything and doesn't have any side effects is obviously a no-op, and it's going to get optimized away, so don't do it because it doesn't do anything. So right now we need to, well, first, this is a 16-byte structure on a, well actually let's assume a 32-bit machine. On a 32-bit machine this is an 8-byte structure. When we have a page of memory, which is 496 bytes, and in that we have so many 8-byte structures, how many until we run out? 512. So we should run out of memory if we do 513 of these? That should be enough to exhaust a 32-bit machine of memory. Well, we could check. Let's check. That should be enough for our 64-bit machine, which is what I've got. Make allocate. Tests valid. Make allocate lots test. Well, touch. Well, did I rename it? No, I didn't. I need to think of a better convention for file names. Really awkward. Unless I really go the Java route with full camel case for file names. Okay, I'm no longer getting video feedback of what's happening, but that's okay. Why did it do that? Oh, duh. I just spelled it wrong a second time. Parse error on line 23. Wrong buffer. I wonder why. Red R curly expected else. Oh, right. Because I don't have any support for if without else yet. Ooh, that looks fun. That could be exactly what we wanted. Corrupted size versus... That does look interesting. Ah. That's interesting. I don't think we're still using malloc. That is really weird. Well, we've got a fun time next time. Yes, very fun time next time with some memory errors. Alright, I'll wind up the stream here. Actually, there won't be one next week. I'll be away. And we might move to a new time. Monday nights are okay, but they're not fantastic. So, well, I'll have a think about that for next time. Anyway, yeah, I'll wind up there. Thank you for joining us. Yep. What do you say when people finish? Subscribe, blah blah blah. Follow on Twitter. There's a website with a blog. Thank you. Where's off?